So, by the looks of the title, you guys probably already have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. This is not going to be all peaches and cream. It's not. So, if that's a trigger right there, go ahead and swipe. Dear church. This is a heavy topic, okay? When people choose to go to church, they choose to go to church to be filled. They go to church to, well, at least me, I go to church to be filled with positivity, with love. Not that I already don't have that in my heart, because I already have that in my heart. I have God within me. So I am a God, okay? Whether you believe that or not, I believe that. So it's like, so if I choose to come to church and I don't feel the love and I feel like it's just hate, because remember, energy does not lie. The feeling that you get, they're not lying to you. They're telling you, hey, this is what's going on. You choose whether you want to believe it or not. But I'm telling you what's going on. So I was going to church faithfully every Sunday. Why? Because I love church. I love to get the word of God. I just love to be able to be in a part of something that I feel like means something. And I was going to church, and it was like the church was not filled with love. It was filled with picking on people, little slick remarks, little jokes here and there. And those things add up to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm going to pull my energy back from this church. Why? Because you guys are not doing your job. You guys are not doing what you guys are supposed to do. So I am going to what? Take away myself. Yes, you guys, we are talking about math, and I'm not even a mather, but we're going to talk about math. I subtracted myself from that. Why would I be an add-on to this negativity, to this foolery? So it's like churches. When people come to the church, young people, old people, I don't care. People come to the church. You welcome them with open hands. You don't judge them. You don't talk about them. You don't belittle them. Isn't that in the Bible? Whoever is so perfect, you can cast a stone. None of you guys are perfect. So it's like, why joke? Why say things that are going to put people down for? It's okay to joke here and there. There's nothing wrong with a little joking here and there, but it gets to a certain point and certain things that can be said and certain things that should not be said, especially at a church. A church. If God could come down here right now at this church, would he be happy with what's going on inside of your church, inside of this church? And if the answer is no, you might have to reconsider some things. You might have to do some things. Or tell some people that they gotta go. You are not invited unless you change your ways. Because all should be welcome to the church. I don't care, rich, poor, not the best clothes, flashy clothes, whatever it is. Come as you are. Isn't that what was said? But you guys in the church are ready to gossip, ready to put people down, and then wonder why some people don't feel like coming to church. Well, it's because of that attitude. That is so unfair to God. And then you're saying, oh, you guys are doing God's work. You guys are not doing God's work. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it is not God's work. So don't even put God in this. Because when I talk to God, I feel left with love. I feel left with joy. I feel filled. So it's like I took myself away from the church and just started doing my own thing, reading the Bible by myself, which I could already do. But it, like I said, it's a great feeling to be a part of something great, which is God. That's a great feeling for me. That makes me happy. But don't ever think you need church, because you don't. And if anyone wants to say, oh, well, you're saying the wrong thing, I'm not saying the wrong thing. And I'm not going on just how I feel. God put this in me. God put this in my mind for me to talk about it. So I'm going to address it as such. Churches, you guys have to do better. I don't know if you guys need to start setting some board meetings to where, okay, what's going on in the church? Get down to the bottom. Get down to the root of what is going on inside of your church. It is a serious matter how you leave people feeling when they leave that church. So, dear church, please do better. You guys got to do better. Especially now of these times that we are in. You think people are just going to come to church so you can put them down and keep them stuck? No, they're not. So it's like, do better. I'm not coming to church so people could make me feel like I'm less of a person. I'm not coming for that. I'm not coming for anything like that. The place of God should be filled with love. I'm not saying it has to be perfect because nothing is perfect. But what I am saying is know how to make sure people are left being happy, left being learning about God. And it's like, it's crazy to me how, we could just all be filled with love and then great things just happen. And then now here's the slick remarks, the slick commentary. Why? Why? Aren't we in the place of God, the place that we should all feel welcome, feel loved, feel accepted? And then to make someone feel like they're not accepted, I do not stand for that. I will not stand for that. I will never be a part of that. I don't care if it's one person, two person, three person. I will not be a part of it. I will take myself out if I have to. And even if it does benefit me, I will still take myself out. Because I'm not a part of that. I don't want to be accepted for that. Because when I have to go through those gates, who's going to be questioning? Me, my soul. So to think that I'm going to come to a church that's putting people down, belittling people, making people feel bad about themselves, I don't want to be a part of that. Church or not. The church, you guys have to do better. And this message is not for all churches, but if the shoe fits, go ahead. If your church, you're not doing what you guys have to do inside of the church, you think people are just going to come to the church? No, people are not going to come to the church. You're going to stay away from the church. Why? Because the people inside of the church do not know how to act. And if they don't know how to act, take a sit down with them. Find out what's going on with them. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? These are things that need to be addressed. Why? Because this is God's place. A place that should be filled with love, positivity, joy. Not bringing people down. You think God would stand for that? I don't think so. Actually, I know he wouldn't. Not even I don't think, I know. Y'all need to do better. And I'm not trying to come off angry, but this makes me feel like I feel strongly about this. Very passionate about this. Because when people come to the church, when people are donating, there was even a guy that came up to me because I went to the church and I was helping with they were giving away, items to the needy. And they told a guy, I think he took a couple of things, and they told him, oh no, you can't take this, you can't take that. Well, if it's to give the needy, why are you telling him what he can and cannot take? If we're giving away for people who needs, why? He spoke to me in Creole and told me how he felt embarrassed, he felt ashamed. Why is someone leaving the church even feeling like that? That's not okay for someone to come to the church and feel like that. And again, I will not stand for that. I will take myself out. No matter how much of a help I am. Because when it comes to church and me helping, I am on 10 toes, ready to go, ready to help. Because I will do the Lord's work. Without a doubt, without even thinking, I'll be ready to go. But it's like, if the rules, the things that I'm seeing, the things that I'm hearing, are not all aligned to God, I don't want to be a part of it. Because why? God is not a part of that. God is not in the midst of that. I don't care what you call it. I honestly took myself out of that equation, not because I'm a coward or didn't want to speak my mind, just because I didn't have the time, the energy to even address that. I'm not going to address you guys and teach you guys, the people of God, how to act, how to treat others. I'm not going to teach you that. You guys signed up to do this work. So it's like, you guys should know. So instead of me trying to address them, letting them know about themselves, I just took myself out of the equation. Like, you know what? I'm just going to go. And I will not be back. I will not step foot back in that building just because of the way I felt. The things that I saw. I'm the type of person, I will study things. And I even decided, hey, let me give it a chance. Let me go back and see. I went back, the same energy. The same thing going on. And it's like, to go somewhere every Sunday, the place that you think you're going to find peace, find love, find joy, and not to find that, why are you going to make yourself go? And why people are not coming to church, especially the younger generation? Well, that's why. They're not feeling welcome. They're not feeling the love. Gossiping. Hate talk. This is supposed to be a church. A church. Get it together. Get it together. That is not good. And that is not okay. I will not be a part of that. If anything, I will cry on to God. But to think I'm going to come to the church and allow what's going on, because I felt like if I sit here and keep going to this church, I'm only tricking myself. It's a ruse to me. Some of the things that were going on in the church, I was very flabbergasted. Like, do you guys not know what's going on? And it's like, for me to complain about this and complain about that, there's too many things to complain about. They're probably going to look at me like, oh, she's just a complainer. Complainer? Boo, I'm not a complainer. But I will address the issue. So you know what? Instead of just trying to bring more negativity into God's place, because I'm never going to disrespect God's place. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here. So I will never disrespect anything of God. So I just took myself out because I knew, woo, you might get a little disrespectful. So you know what? Just leave and don't come back. That's what I told myself. And I will not go back. Because that's not okay. That is never okay to make people feel small when they are coming to seek God. That's not